Coffee. Is it good or is it bad? It depends on where the money is, isn't it? I mean, that's honestly what determines if something's good or bad. Study after study, blah blah blah. But here's a report on what's happening with coffee right now in the state of California.
Starbucks and other coffee retailers in California now have to put a cancer warning on their coffee, according to a judge in LA. So a nonprofit group sued dozens of coffee retailers like Starbucks, claiming that a chemical created when you roast coffee beans may cause cancer. The coffee companies say, yeah, the chemical's there, but at a harmless level. And they say it's outweighed by the benefits of imbibing coffee. So the judge ruled against them. So now they do have to come up with some warning. The judge still has to rule, though, on whether they have to pay any fines for it.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. Jot that number down so you can call. Coffee, carcinogenic. Hey, air, carcinogenic. Water, carcinogenic. Life, carcinogenic. Holy cow. I mean, come on. Yeah, coffee. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? How many studies have we seen like this? I've talked about this. I probably talked about this when I first started doing radio. What's good for you? One glass of wine? Oh, no. It needs to be red wine because it's got the tannins in it. Oh, no. 2 glasses is even better. No. If you do 2 glasses, you get too much of the tannin, which is carcinogenic. Just where does it end? Like I said, you want to know where it ends? Where the money ends, man. Where the money is. That's where it ends. Because somebody can make something good or bad for you just by virtue of saying, oh, well, I believe it's good or bad. So I need a study that shows that coffee is really good for you. Why? So I can sell a lot more coffee. And then somebody comes along and goes, hey, the tea guys go, they're selling a lot of coffee. We probably ought to say something about how coffee causes cancer. And then somebody buys them off. Yeah, I saw this article. Why coffee is good for you. Here are 7 reasons. Coffee isn't just warm and energizing. It also may be extremely good for you. I'm not kidding. It says maybe. In recent years and decades, scientists have studied the effects of coffee on various aspects of health, and their results have been nothing short of amazing. And here's a couple of them. Coffee can make you smarter. Coffee doesn't just wake you up, it literally makes you smarter as well. The active ingredient in coffee is caffeine, which is a stimulant, and the most consumed psychoactive substance in the world. Caffeine's primary mechanism in the brain is blocking the effects of an inhibitory neurotransmitter called adenosine. By blocking the inhibitory effects of adenosine, caffeine actually increases neural firing in the brain and the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. Many controlled trials have examined the effects of caffeine on the brain, demonstrating that caffeine can improve mood, reaction time, memory, vigilance, general cognitive function. But it comes at a cost. It could be cancer causing. The way they roast the beans releases hexene and a bunch of other enes, and enes and isms and itses can be bad for you. But I love my cup of coffee in the morning. And you know what? We love it so much. We promote the leftist agenda of people like Starbucks to the tune of billions of dollars every year. Had Howard Schultz laughing all the way to the bank until he finally screwed up and got too political and made people mad. Coffee, one of the most expensive products per ounce on the market. And nobody bothers these guys either. I was thinking about this. If you were if you have to drill for coffee versus, burning this carcinogenic bean, would it be any better? Yeah, the coffee drillers, these people that are going out there on these platforms out in the North China Sea drilling for coffee, they're polluting the environment with their leftover remnants of coffee grinds. I don't know what they would do, but you get what I'm saying. If coffee were oil, it would have been demonized long before now. But I don't know who's going after coffee, but now we're learning that it can be bad for you. All kinds of things I read in this report that said coffee good. 7 reasons, and I only gave you one. I just gave you one. It releases more endorphins. Let's face it, that first cup of coffee, it's delicious. The smell of it in the morning just wakes all kinds of senses. It reminds me of my grandmother. It really does. Such a great feeling, because that was the first time I ever smelled coffee was with my grandparents. When I was growing up, or I should say realized what was going on. And so I would get up in the morning and my grandfather was going to drink his coffee. My grandmother had made it for him. And it reminds me of that. It's got this a tug at me beyond just the taste of it. Now, I never thought coffee tasted good until I was in Hawaii and I got a cup of Kona coffee and I was like, oh, it was like God himself had jumped into that cup and stirred it. It was so delicious. It reminds me of the first time I tasted crafted beer at Gordon Biersch. One of my best friends took me to Gordon Biersch in San Jose, and I went, oh, this is beer. This is what beer is supposed to taste like, not this crap I've been getting, the Schlitz my grandparents used to buy, and when I got old enough to drink, I drank. No, it wasn't that. It was that crafted beer. So here's this Kona coffee. I was like, whoa, what is this? Then I found out the cost. Hey, have you drank this monkey butt coffee? My sister bought some of that. It's like, I don't know, it's like $50 or $100 for a bag of it. It's crazy. You might as well buy crack or gold ingots or something. It should be called Coffee Rush instead of this show called Gold Rush. It should be Monkey Butt Coffee Rush because it's as expensive to mine as gold. It's crazy. But is it good for you? Is it bad for you? So I did a little thing. I looked at some of these stories about. I just Googled coffee. Coffee, good or bad? And here's what I got. Coffee and health. What does the research say? This is from the Mayo Clinic. You can look these up yourself. And so I'm going, what do you mean, what does the coffee, what does the research say? Tell me what the research says. Here's the beginning of it, because I got it here. In addition, some studies found that 2 or more cups of coffee a day can increase the risk of heart disease in people with a specific and fairly common genetic mutation that shows the breakdown of caffeine in the body. So how quickly you metabolize coffee may affect your health risk, although coffee may have fewer ... That's where that one ends. The next one was CNN. Is coffee healthy? It was from March 9th of 2018, this year. Is chocolate good or bad for health? Decaf is not no calf. So if you're drinking 3 cups of decaf per day, then I would restrict that. Buffalino said of people with heart conditions. As for coffee's effects on bone health, caffeine in coffee can lead to calcium loss, but it's probably not worth worrying about. Okay, I'm still undecided here. I don't know about you. Here's the next one. It's another CNN. And this one was from January 31st of 2018. Health effects of coffee. Where do we stand? Only 2 months later, they're still asking the question. This is CNN on January 31st of 2018. Here's what CNN said about coffee. Mostly good. But first, a negative. A 2001 study found that 20% increase in the risk of urinary tract cancer risk for coffee drinkers, but not tea drinkers. See, we're starting to connect the dots here. It's the tea people that are going after coffee. That finding was repeated in 2015 meta-analysis. So if there is a risk factor in your family history, you might want to switch to tea. Then, in March 9th of 2018, is coffee good or bad for you? That one I just read earlier. So, CNN 2 months later is asking the same question. How much did the tea people pay for this? I don't know. And then here's one, January 23rd of 2018 in health.com. Is coffee actually good for you? They keep asking the question. Nobody goes, coffee is definitively good for you. We did a survey. Here's the bad, here's the good. The good way outweighs the bad. So here you go. Boom. They give you all these things. If you're a beta factor, if you have a risk of this, if you suffer from this genetically, whatever, then you may not want to drink coffee. Yeah. Or you may not want to eat broccoli, or you may not want to, eat an orange. Or if you're lactose intolerant, hey, avoid milk. Hey, you have a fish allergy? Don't eat fish stuff. Nothing definitive. Here's one, Newsweek from 2017 in November. Health benefits of coffee. 3 or 4 cups per day does far more ... So you got to click. Business Insider. They were definitive. Why coffee is good for you. That was October 14th of 2017. Is coffee actually good for you? How many cups a day is considered healthy? Is drip coffee worse than espresso? I mean, somebody wants to get to the bottom of it, and here's what I'm going to tell you, folks. In 2019, you're going to get coffee studies. In 2020, you're going to get coffee studies. Who's paying for all these studies that don't give us any more information about whether we should drink coffee, shouldn't drink coffee? Is it 1 cup a day? Is it 4 cups a day? That's the joke of it all, people. The FDA has approved every drug that has ever been recalled, but the government wants you to know it can tell you what to do about coffee, and California wants to legislate it. Hey, Starbucks, put a warning on your coffee.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.